So Ever Upwards has arrived, and one of the most sought after parts of it is the backpack. In this video I'll tell you how to unlock the Craftable backpack, give some tips for completing the challenges, and also show you how to earn mods for it. To start off, you'll need to go to Camp Lewis in the Toxic Valley and talk to the Mr. Handy scout leader who's there. Talking to them will start off the Order of the Tadpole quest. Completing this quest will reward you with a backpack, as well as the plans to craft them. Problem is that it's a really tricky quest to complete and will take you a while. Let's start with the easy stuff, the kindness, helpfulness and bravery objectives. First up, kindness, revive an ally. This is by far the easiest one. Just team up with someone, each of you goes down once, and then revives the other. You've both got that objective done. If you're struggling to go down in combat, you can always jump off of a cliff instead to go down. Next is helpfulness. Clean up kiddie corner cabins. Fast travel over to this location and talk to the scout leader there. He'll set you up with the repeatable quest, Operation Tidy. This is a fairly straightforward mission where you pick up toxic waste and put it in a barrel. It's nice and easy to complete, and will tick off the helpfulness challenge, as well as giving its own rewards. In a similar frame, you'll also need to travel to Dolly Sods in Mamaia and talk to the scout leader there. They'll set you up with a repeatable quest called Stings and Things, requiring you to gather insect parts. The quest will give you markers of where to go to collect the parts, so it's fairly straightforward. The only real tip to give here is to remind you not to accidentally cook or scrap any of the bits you gather. If you scrap all during this quest, you can lose items essential to the quest and have to regather them. Once all these parts are done, you're on to the final and hardest part, growth. Earn free Scout World badges. If you check in the World section of the challenge menu, you'll find a bunch of new challenges listed as Tadpole. In order to complete this stage of a quest, you need to tick off 3 of those challenges. Each of these challenges has multiple parts however, and some of them are really tricky. In this video I'll be focusing on 4 of the challenges, the ones that I found are easiest and quickest to complete. These are Archer, Athlete, Hunter and Mammologist. Regardless of which challenges you decide to complete, the first stage is going to be the same for everyone. Each of these challenges require you to pass a knowledge exam on the subject. To do this you can head over to Camp Adams, a location in the forest a short ways northeast of the Nuka-Cola plant. In this location is a terminal with the option Tadpole exams. Selecting this will give you a list of each of the challenges and provide a quiz for each of them. The quiz consists of 5 different questions, chosen from a much larger potential pool. What this means is that the questions will change each time you retry the test. To complete the test you need to answer 5 out of 5 correctly, but you can retry as many times as you want. In order to complete these tests, I recommend using a combination of friends and Google. Some of the questions are really quite challenging and will test a variety of different subjects, including American history, computer code, and how to trap a black bear. I've yet to see a full cheat sheet for this, but if anybody does find one, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Personally, I would recommend trying to complete all of the tests whilst you're at the camp, as they are required for each of the different badges you'll be wanting later. After completing the test, you can get on with the more physical side of things, and focus on the other challenges. To begin, let's start with Archer, as this is a really straightforward one. First things first, you'll need a crossbow. There is one that can be found at the Palace of the Winding Path, but hopefully you can either craft one or already have one stashed away. Once you have a crossbow, head back to Camp Lewis and head slightly uphill to this archery test range. Activate the speaker box and it will instruct you to land a bullseye on each of the targets within 90 seconds. This is relatively easy to do, just pay attention to where your shots land and adjust accordingly. The other challenges are even more straightforward than this one. Craft 50 crossbow bolts, repair a crossbow 3 times, and kill 50 enemies with a crossbow. Use a crossbow as your main weapon for a while, and this will be easy to complete. If you want to give yourself an easy time of things, just stick to low level areas and repair the crossbow whenever you come across a weapons workbench. Next up we have the Athlete Challenge. First 2 parts of this are to have strength and agility at 5 or higher. For me, I have this auto-completed as my stats were naturally higher than this. If your stats are lower, then you can raise them with consumables. Strength I'd say is the easiest to raise, as Mole Rat Chunks, Deathclaw Steak and Buff Out all raise this stat. As for agility, you can eat crispy squirrel bits, Mirelurk softshell cake, or charred scorchbeast liver. Keep in mind you can also stack these items together if need be. Once this is done, you have a trio of athletic courses to run through. These are located at Sunnytop Ski Lanes, Camp Venture, and New River Gorge Bridge. At each of these locations you're looking for yellow flags and a speaker box. Interact with this, listen to the instructions, and then run the course. If you don't complete the course quickly enough first time around, you can head back to the box and rerun it until you complete it quickly enough. There will be traps and enemies along the course, often making the second run much easier as you don't have to deal with them springing out at you. Once you've completed that one, you can try your hand at Hunter. This will require you to kill various beasts with specific weapons. The most important part here is just to make sure you have all the required weapons in order to kill the enemies with the correct weapon when you come across them. The hardest challenge in here is to kill a Yaoguai with a syringa. However, this can be made much easier by weakening the bear with conventional weaponry and then just landing the last few shots with a syringa, ideally with a bleed-out barrel. The final challenge I'll be going over is Mammologist. The majority of this challenge is to take pictures of various animals. In order to do this, you will need to have unlocked the new camera that was introduced a couple of weeks ago. If you have lost your camera, then broken ones can be found in red toolboxes and repaired at a tinkerer's workbench. Once you've got your camera ready, head out and start taking pictures of the various creatures listed. These are mostly passive creatures that can be found in the forest. Locations to look for them include Flatwoods, the White Springs, and Helvetia. The creature I struggled most with getting a picture of was a cat, but fortunately there's a guaranteed spawn of one. Head to this location in the ash heap and you'll find Murgle, a cat who is more than happy to be photographed. As a side note for this challenge, the animals don't need to be alive to register as taking pictures for them, and quite often it's easier to kill the animals and then snap a shot of them. Additionally, for the challenge you'll need to milk a Brahmin 10 times. A lot of them can be found at Flatwoods, and you can also often find them at people's camps. If you want the fastest way to get this done though, then build your own fertilizer producer, milk the Brahmin, kill it, repair the item, and repeat until the challenge is completed. To complete the Order of the Tadpole quest, you only need to complete 3 of these challenges, so you can skip over whichever one of these you find the hardest, and you'll still unlock the backpack. Once you've got the required number of challenges completed, head over to any of the previously encountered scout leaders and report back into them. Once this is done, you'll be rewarded with a Tadpole backpack, as well as the knowledge to craft your own backpacks. A standard level 51 raises carry capacity by 60 points, making it a really desirable item to gather. If you want to improve this item further, you'll need to purchase plans from the Pioneer vending machines over at Camp Lewis. These require badges which are earned from the challenges we listed earlier. What this means is that you'll need to complete even more of the challenges in order to improve the backpack, and that's quite the daunting challenge. Fortunately, there's a whole bunch of new challenges added now, listed as Possum challenges, to go along with your new rank. These provide even more opportunities to unlock badges and a little more flexibility in what you can do. Once you reach this point, my best advice would be to take it slow and just try and complete these challenges as naturally as you can. This whole endeavour is quite time consuming, so don't worry about rushing it. A lot of the challenges listed in all of these different things are just stuff you'll get done naturally as you play. So if you're not fussed about rushing to get the backpack and all of the improvements to it, just keep playing the game, you'll find you'll naturally tick off most of the stuff, then you can just focus on the last couple of bits you need to complete. And that is going to be it for the video. Quite the lengthy one, as this really is one hell of a challenge. Once you have the backpack though, it's easy to craft extras, so you could always start up a backpack shop, selling basic rucksacks at the new player vending. I'm certain people would be willing to pay a lot for them. If this video was helpful to you, leave a like, feel free to comment with any questions, and subscribe to the channel for more Fallout 76 content. As always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.